Flosstube. Stephanie here, Ms. Oh So Crafty. Welcome back to my Flosstube. This is episode number 30. And today is Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those who celebrate. Otherwise, I hope everyone is having a good day. And it's Friday, weekend's almost here. So today is the first school day in like a week because we got a snow and sleet storm, which wasn't really that bad, but the school system saw fit to have several 2-hour delays, which for us is basically cancellation since my son's program is only 3 hours in the morning. So yeah, he went to school today for the first time since last week, and I'm home alone. Yay. So, St. Patrick's Day, I'm wearing green, yeah? And I have quite a bit of Irish blood in my veins, majority. So, I do like to celebrate. In some years, I go all out decorating and stuff, but this year, do it a little more low-key. Anyway, so it's been a couple weeks since I filmed, and I do have a lot to share with you. I wanted to film before, but like I said, no school, so difficulty finding a moment of quiet. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess I'll just go through this stuff chronologically because I have a bunch of things I finished and worked on them, finished, you know. So the first thing I worked on after the video was this Noel Biscornu orney. Isn't that cute? There's the back, there's the front. I finished it as a Biscornu with a little red bead in the center. Used a ribbon for the hanger. Oops, dropped it, sorry. Yeah, even as tiny as this thing was, it took a while to stitch together. On the sides, you know? I mean, not hard at all, just time consuming. And this had an odd number of stitches on the sides, which I think made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. It would be better with an even number of stitches. Yeah. But it's cute, and I like it. It'll be nice for the tree. I don't see myself making a whole lot of Biscornus, though. It's just, I mean, I don't know what I would do with them, you know, other than make ornaments. I certainly wouldn't use it as a pincushion. This was from the Cross Stitch Christmas Heartwarming Holidays book by Poppy Benner, and I stitched it on 28 count white Monaco by Charles Craft, DMC. So that's all ready to go, FFO, and then after that, it was March 1st, I decided to take out my Maiden and the Unicorn project, which is one of my Year of Wits pieces, and it was, I thought it would go well for the Stitch Mania History and Stitches. So I'll insert a pic of what it's supposed to look like when it's finished, and a pic of what it looked like before. Here is my current progress. What I did this time is I worked up from the griffin all the way up to the corner, and then I stitched across just to make sure it matched up, which it did, thankfully. And then I decided that I'd better start backstitching before I do anything else, so I backstitched this bottom border. That is some detailed backstitching, peeps. Let me tell you. It took about 4 hours, I think, to backstitch this border. Yeah, I think when I take this piece out again, I'm going to do some more backstitching before I stitch the rest of it. So, yeah, I mean, all the borders have to be backstitched. And then, of course, there's plenty of backstitching on the piece as well. So I guess what my plan is, I will backstitch the borders up to the griffin and including the griffins. And then I will start working on the cross stitching again. And I'll backstitch the bottom part of the piece as well, like the unicorn, his tail and his rump and all that, and her skirt. Yeah, so this is being stitched on 36 count antique white Edinburgh. The pattern is made in unicorn by Vermilion Stitchery. And it's coming along. I think I should be able to finish it this year. Maybe another 3 weeks of effort or so. We'll see. So I worked on that 4 days. I was intending to work on it longer, but after 4 days I was kind of done. Between the copious fractionals and the backs, it's kind of a fiddly project at times. Sorry, I dropped frame. So after that, I decided to work on a gift for a friend, and I found some free patterns, like a free fox pattern and a free alphabet on the internet, and sort of put them together. I had to pick my own colors for it though, because they didn't have a color key. Anyway, so here it is. For fox sake. Isn't that cute? I love the fox's expression. It's sort of like a devil may care sort of pose, in my opinion, and I think it turned out really cute. Stitched this on 28 count Charles Craft white Monaco, just like the ornament. Yeah, that's the fabric that just keeps on giving. That took 3 days, and it was fun. I love the font that I found. I wanted something that was like big enough to sort of go well with the fox. I didn't want the fox to overwhelm the image, so I'm happy with how it turned out. All right, so after that, I decided to work on Fire Goddess. There was a challenge to do 300 stitches or something. And the cross stitch it spun the splits. And for the Joan Elliott stitch along, focus on design or whatever. So I decided to work on Fire Goddess again, and what I did is I did this hem of her dress down here, and I did some of the lighter orange color that you see going up there, and it's filled in a little bit up there as well, and there. So that was fun. Stitching this on 32 count Golden Promise Belfast by Silkweaver, old pattern by Joan Elliott from an old cross stitch collection magazine. It looks like this. And loving it. I had a lot of fun. Can't wait to work on this for a longer period of time. But I will get to my plans in a minute. So. And then I decided to work on Tree Farm, which this is my Mill Hill Christmas Village project. Normally I would save this for later in the month, but again it was another like challenge type thing, so I decided to take it out, and I finished it. Trees for sale. Isn't that cute? Oh, I ran out of the Krennic 032 that I'm using for the border, so I wasn't able to extend it all the way down, but yeah, so this is from a kit. It's called Tree Farm for the Mill Hill Christmas Village collection, and it's on perforated paper. Obviously, I'm using fabric for it. This is 28 count Jobelin in the Stormy Gray colorway, hand dyed by Witchell. I love it. Perfect for a winter scene. I think it'd also be nice for a Halloween pattern. And it took 9 days in all to stitch. So that's like 6 days to cross stitch and 3 days to bead. It only took 1 day to finish when I brought it out this time. What I had left to do was 3 colors of beads. Light green, which you see in this tree over here, and copper, which is in the roof, and what else? Blue. Little birds down there. Oh, let's see if we can get in close. Right, so there's, 7 colors of beads in here. White, red, blue, light green, dark green, gold, copper. Yeah. Super sparkly. I love the little sign, the trees for sale. And I think the birds came out really cute as well. So there's 3 of them down here, and then there's one up there. It's so sparkly, and I'm really happy with this finish. I can't wait to start the next piece, which will be next door. Oops, dropped a needle. Yeah, okay, so I was going to work on this more in March, but I decided to give myself a break since my March goal was to finish this piece, and I did finish it. I finished it on the 9th of March, actually, so I will pick this up again in April and start the next piece. So after that, I decided to work on the Summer Bell Pull by Stony Creek, and it took 4 days, but I finished it. This pattern is by Stony Creek, and I am stitching it on 18 count and cloth by MCG Textiles. So SUMMER. So the back stitching, I really regretted saving it towards the end because it took so long. About 2 hours for each block. That one's cute. You see the frogs in there and the pussy willows, the canoe, S for simplify, and the ants. And back stitching on this fabric was, a challenge because it's just kind of flimsy, and especially when you're using one thread in the needle, it's very easy to slip the stitches. So what I found worked best was to just go slowly and use a lighter tension than I normally would, a looser tension. Here's U for uplift, lighthouse, sailboat, kites in there. I like that block. That one's cool. M for meditate. Watermelon, love strawberries. I love all summer fruit, really. There's a cute little butterfly in there. The drinking straw. How cute is that drinking straw? Yeah. And the basket of strawberries. And of course, more ants. Can't have a picnic without ants, right? M for meander. This is actually my favorite block. It was less fiddly to stitch than some of the others. And I just really love how it came out. I love the shell. There's a DMC variegated in that, the one I showed you in my last video, 4020 Tropical Waters. I love stitching with that. It's so pretty. And I love how the back stitching came out on the sand dollar and the starfish. It really pops, I think. And the flip-flops. Who doesn't love flip-flops? And the beach ball. Yeah, I really like that block. And then E for enjoy. This was probably sorry for the shaking. Okay, this was probably my least favorite block just because it was so fiddly, so many color changes. I just stitched it, and I thought it was done, and then I'd look at the chart and be like, oops, no, not quite done. E for enjoy. Sadly, I did not enjoy the block very much, but it does look fine in the end, I suppose. I do like the camper vans. Those are cute. And the birdhouses. Yeah, it's not bad. It was just, like I said, fiddly. And then last but not least, R for relax. That one came out pretty nicely. We got the beach chair with the bubbly drink with the slice of lime on it. Oh yeah. Little sailboat in the distance, and the beach umbrellas, and the variegated blue you see here in the swirls on the beach, that was the DMC variegated. And I used that same thread for my signature as well. So the pattern did call for several weeks dye works, but when I looked at it, I didn't really notice any variegation in the model pick, so I just used the DMC subs. So let me back up. Summer! It's kind of huge, as you can see. each of these blocks is, 5 inches, and there's 6 of them, so it's like almost 3 feet tall. But I have to sew it into a bell pull, which I will do. I'm not going to do anything too fancy to it, just because there's so much going on in this piece already. No need to gild the lily, I am thinking of buying the hanger from Stony Creek, which is sort of like thematic, but it's nothing too crazy. So, very happy to finish this. This was my 9th finish for the year of whips, and my goal is to do 17, so 9 gets me over halfway. Very happy about that. And then, last but not least, excuse me a sec. Now, this is still on my scroll frame because I'm kind of in the middle of my rotation, but King Arthur's Court. The pattern is in an old cross-stitch collection magazine, and it looks like this. Isn't that cool? So this also qualifies for History in Stitches, and also for the, there's a Home Sweet Home stitch along going on, and cross stitch finish line, I think, and this one, well, I live in a neighborhood called Camelot. Camelot is my home. So let me see if I can insert a picture of what it looked like before. I've worked on this 4 days so far, and I have, or 3 days, 4 days, I guess. Let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, 3 days. And then today's day 4, and then I'm going to work on a Saturday, Sunday, so I'm going to give this 6 days in all. So here's my progress. And what I did is I worked on the shields here, the crest. So I love the motifs, the crown and the raven. Worked a little bit on the border, and then I stitched this dragon. Didn't he come out so cute? I went to the trouble of adding quite a lot of fractionals in there in the area where the back stitching is, so I can't wait to backstitch it and see the detail. I worked a lot on Lancelot's cape, which is a little bit of gray, but mostly white on white. A lot of white on white in there. And then I started working on the picture, this framed picture thing, which is going to be like a ship on the seas. So where it's, the top of where it's stitched represents the midline of the chart and the vertical axis. So my goal is to finish this, but it's all full coverage in there, so it may take a while. It's not a gazillion colors though, so maybe it won't take that long. We'll see. And then I would also like to work a little bit over here as well. This is going to be another crest, a larger one, and this is close to the midline of the piece. I may also work a bit more on Guinevere. This empty area down here is like her hair. She has a long braid that's coming down. And as charted, it's black hair, but I've decided to make her a blonde because, you know, she's Guinevere. And I want her to be blonde. So I have to pick some colors for that. I'll probably use, there are already a lot of gold colors in here. Like on her gown, you can see the trim. Some of it is gold, so I don't want to use those colors. I'm probably going to have to make her like a white blonde kind of thing. Sort of like what I did with Fleur Delacour. So I'll look at my blog and see if I can find those colors. Or maybe they're on Facebook or something. I'm sure I wrote them down somewhere. I am just loving this piece so much. really fun to work on. But gosh, I've worked on it, let's see, 8 days so far since the beginning, and it's not 25% finished yet, which, do the math. So this is like a plus 30 days project for me. That's a lot. Um, but I do want to finish it this year. It's a year whoops piece, and considering how much fun it is to stitch, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's just a rainbow of colors, and I love it. Love that dragon. So cute. So, this will be a lot of fun to work on through the weekend. So, that's it for my whips and finishes, I guess. So, I have, let's see, let's look at my little stitching summary. I'll give you a update. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 starts this year, if you count Winnie the Pooh, which I started in Frog. I had to restart, and I have 6 finishes, which, Summer Belle pulls the last one. So, not bad. Not doing bad at all. My plans for the rest of March are to, well, like I said, work a couple more days on the King Arthur's Court pattern. And then I'm going to take out Aphrodite. My plan is to spend 5 days on her and try to get her ready for beading, or maybe even start beading. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I get to in 5 days. I have to finish her skin, basically, and do the hair and stuff, so, and a little bit more krennic. So speaking of skin, this always comes up. People ask, did you do the skin 1/1? No. I don't do the skin 1/1 unless it's specifically charted that way. In my opinion, it's not worth the time and the angst involved, especially when, once you have it framed up on the wall. Is the difference really all that significant? To me, it's just not worth it. So if a pattern is specifically charted for 1/1 in the face, I will do it that way, but I'm not going to convert, a 2/2 face to 1/1. What I do to make it prettier is I use some fractional stitches around the edges of the skin so it will fit well into the back stitch lines. So that may be a 1/4 stitch, it may be a 3/4 stitch, just depending on what is needed at that edge. So that is my general practice and works for me. I've been stitching a long time, don't plan to change it anytime soon. Tina, Simply in Stitches, was talking about like her struggle with 1/1 skin on her channel, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents into the matter. So okay, so Aphrodite, and then I'm going to start another Christmas ornament on the 25th. I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do a chalkboard ornament by Hands On Design. Won't that be fun? I can't wait to stitch on the Picture This Flesh Shadow fabric I got, which is like a chalkboard looking fabric. And I plan to restart Winnie the Pooh, spend a few days on that. And then I should have a couple days empty at the end of the month, and I'm going to use that for my Year of Whips pieces. It may be Aphrodite, depending on how far I go in the 5 days that I'm devoting previously. She is my next target for finishing. I want to finish her in April, so. Or I may work more on, I don't know, something else. My next target for finishing. So now let's talk about rotation for a little bit. So what I've been doing is like a weekly rotation with some special projects on the weekend, and it feels too crowded lately because I have 3 special projects. They include my monthly ornament, my Mill Hill Christmas Village, and Winnie the Pooh. So one of the problems is the Mill Hill Christmas Village doesn't really fit neatly into the weekend. I think in order to finish I think it takes me about 9 days to finish a chart, and I want to finish 1 per quarter. So every 3 months, right? So that means 3 days per month. So not just Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever. And yeah, and then with those 3 plus the 4, it feels too crowded, like I have too much going on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to revamp my rotation a little bit. My plan is to have 3 focus pieces per month and give those 3 weekly rotations starting on the first of the month. So 1 to 7, 8 to 15, 16 to 21 of days of the month. So that will be up to day 21 of the month. And then for the 4th week of the month, I'm planning to divide it between my Christmas village, my Christmas ornament, and Winnie the Pooh. So 2 days, 2 days, 3 days. Adds up to 7, right? And then I'll have a few days at the end, most likely, and I will just use those to work on my focus for a finish or whatever. So that is my plan. I mean, it does make me a little sad to have, 3 big projects I'm focusing on per month instead of 4, but I think it'll work better this way. I'll just have more time to devote to each of them, and hopefully I'll finish them that much faster and be able to work on different projects. So we'll see how that works. And next month, unfortunately, the next couple of months are not going to be good test cases for it because in April I'm doing the Jessie Marie's birthday stitch along. But I think what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to keep doing my rotation and then just do the daily rotation pieces in a very limited manner, like less than an hour, like a couple threads or whatever, and then call it finished. And it's only like 10 or 11 days, so when I look at my rotation, let's see. The first week of her stitch along, I'll be working on the Castle by Teresa Wensler. And it won't be bad to break up that project a little bit because it is, pretty fiddly with all the fractionals and the back stitching and everything. And then April 22nd to 24th, I'm going to be working on the my Mill Hill Christmas Village piece, Toy Shop. And then the 25th, I guess we'll just go through the stitch along. So it starts on the April 15th with your oldest whip. And for me, that is Maiden in the Unicorn by Vermilion, which I started in 2006. Yeah. April 16, stitch something related to the letters J, M, D, or S. That, for me, I'm going to do Dasher by Nora Corbett, Little Reindeer. April 17, stitch something you were enabled to do. That will be The Castle by Teresa Wensler. And again, that will be my focus piece anyway for that week, April 15 to 21. So that'll be cool. I was enabled to buy that, I don't know, a long time ago. But I'm pretty sure that, I saw it finished like on the internet or something, because I wouldn't have just like bought something like that because it is such an expensive project, Honestly, I don't really get enabled that much, and I don't have anything in my current rotation that I would really consider to be like truly enabled. Yeah. Okay, April 18th, stitch something related to her favorite colors, maroon, orange, purple, red. I'm going to be working on the Mill Hill Toy Shop. I guess I'll start it then, because there is some red and purple and stuff in that piece, I think. April 19th, stitch something related to a bulldog, or at the very least an animal. I'll be working on my Snowman and Friends stocking, which has a bunch of birds and squirrels and this and that. Yeah. April 20th, Miss Congeniality, stitch something pretty. I'll be working on Titania by Mirabilia because she's a pink princess, What could be prettier? April 21st, stitch something related to Taurus or Diamond. I will be working on The Fire Goddess by Joan Elliott because Taurus is a fire sign, and the symbol for Taurus is backstitched on her. So perhaps I will work on, perhaps I'll be able to backstitch a little bit. I don't know if it'll be at that stage yet. I am planning to give her a week in April, so we'll see. And then April 22nd, close to 30 or finished, close to finished. I'm going to work on Aphrodite because she is my closest piece to finishing. The only thing is though that she may be finished already by then. I don't know. We'll see. If not, I'll have to, if she is finished, I'll have to pick a different project. And then April 23rd, the theme is 29. So I'm going to work on my Autumn Fairy piece by Dimensions Gold. I'm going to stitch on it for 29 minutes. I really need to get I really need to get that project going on because there's a long way to go, and it is one of my year whoops pieces. So I guess I'll see that it'll come up frequently in my rotation in the second half of the year. The 24th theme is bookish. I'll be working on King Arthur's Court because, lots of books about King Arthur. April 25th, birthday, new start. I'm going to be starting a Christmas ornament because it is the 25th of the month. I don't know which one yet. I'll decide when I get there. April 26th, the theme is family. I will be working on my Winnie the Pooh piece because that is for my son. Yeah, so that'll be fun, daily rotation thing, and then continuing with my regular rotation. There's also going to be a retreat in there. I'll be leaving on the 21st, I think, and returning on the 23rd or the 24th. So, yeah, I'll have to take all those projects with me. That will be fun. And then my other focus pieces for April are, Castle, Aphrodite, and Fire Goddess. So, yeah, I'll be doing a week on each of those, Aphrodite and Fire Goddess, before Jessie Stitch Along. My birthday is actually in there. April 4th is my birthday. This will be my 29th birthday. 37, yeah. So, that's cool. I mean, I used to be all like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, but the reality of it is that it's better than the alternative, And besides that, my husband is 3 years older than me, so no matter how old I get, he'll always be older, yeah. Okay, so I guess that's it for my stitching, and we can talk a little bit about knitting. So thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting and subscribing. You guys are wonderful. I can't believe how many subscribers I have now. It's crazy. I can't believe that many people are interested in listening to me talk about my cross stitch, but I love you all. You're all my Flosstube friends, and I'm looking forward to meeting a few of you this October. I will be attending the Flosstube retreat in Austin, Texas. So that will be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never been to I've connected, flights in Texas, but I've never visited Texas. So really looking forward to that and eating some barbecue and Tex-Mex food. So that will be fun. And I just want to give a shout out to Julicious, who's planning this thing. I watched her vlog last night, and she said that she was stressed out about it. But Julia, you're doing a fabulous job, and there is no reason to be stressed out about it. I mean, this thing is going to be at a Hilton Garden Inn, I think, if memory serves. That's a nice hotel. The accommodations go a long way towards the experience of a stitchy meetup, in my opinion, so I'm sure it will be fine. And it's not huge, you know. I mean, there's gonna be 50 people attending, so we're all gonna bring our stitching, and we're all gonna have a great time chatting and stitching. And there is not a whole lot that you need to do to ensure we have a good time. We will take care of that part. So thank you so. Sorry, drop frame. So basically, Julia, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing to organize this thing, and can't wait to meet you in October. Okay, that's it for stitching. And if you want to see my knitting, I can show you the sweater that I'm wearing. So let me move the camera. Okay, this is called Nespelum. It's by Amy Herzog. It's published in the Twist Collective Winter 2010 or 11 or something. Yeah. I used Knit Picks Gloss DK for it in the jade colorway. Pretty dark green. It is a wool and silk yarn. Nice and cozy. Winter has returned. Like I said, we had snow earlier this week, and it's pretty cold outside still. So I think it's gonna warm up this weekend though. Yeah, so I stitched or knit the 34-inch size on US 4 and 5 needles for a gauge of 5.5 stitches per inch. I guess the 4s I probably used for the trim or whatever. So it took about 1,200 yards, and I don't know if I did short row shaping on this. I don't see any short row shaping. Oh, there it is. I did some short row shaping. I did some short row bust shaping on this. Like for most projects. So, side view, back view, beading on the back. So yeah, the interesting part of this is obviously okay, so the interesting part of this is obviously the beaded bit, beaded smocking. So it's on the chest, or the neckline, and the cuffs. The hem is sewn in. What I do is I cast on provisionally and then stitch down the live loops, makes it less bulky. And what else? What else to say about this? Well, it took me 1 month to knit. It was actually the first sweater project that I felt inspired to cast on after I had my son and everything. So I started it November 7th, 2015, when he was almost 2. And I finished it a month later, but it took a long time to sew together and block. I've actually never worn it. This is the first time I'm wearing it today. It's a nice St. Patrick's sweater when it's cold, like it is today. But there were a lot of seams in it because the sewn in hem and everything. But it was mostly just, I didn't work on it. It sat, it was set aside for a long time. So I do really like it. The beads were fun. They're crystal AB, and they are pre-strung. This smocking thing was not difficult. I mean, it takes a little bit of practice to sort of get your tension right, and when it was done, it was just ripply and curling, something terrible. I blocked the heck out of it, pin block, like you would with lace. And you can see now it's, it's nice. It worked out. So I really like this piece, and I am looking forward to knitting a couple more sweaters this year. We'll see. Okay, that's it for me today. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone, and I will see you again before the end of March. Ta-ta!